You keep saying you want to win. You keep saying you want to level up. You keep saying you want to build something legendary, a legacy, an empire. But here's the truth. Your habits don't match your mouth. Your grind doesn't match your goals. And your excuses are louder than your execution. I'm not here to pat you on the back. I'm not here to say it's okay, maybe next time. I'm here to say this. Wake up, because you keep sleeping on your gift. You keep snoozing on your potential. You keep waiting for perfect timing, like life owes you something. Let me break it to you. Life owes you nothing. The throne, the empire, the dream, it's not going to walk into your life just because you want it. You want it? Then build it. You talk big. You say you're different. You say you were born to be great. But greatness doesn't respond to words. It responds to work. You don't get to dream big and grind small. You don't get to talk about legacy while living like a liability. You don't get to post motivational quotes and ignore your alarm clock. Listen to me. It's time to check yourself. Because while you're making excuses, someone else is making moves. While you're sleeping in, someone else is stacking hours. While you're talking about maybe, someone else is locking in on must. This world isn't going to give you a trophy for almost. It's not going to clap for your excuses. You think life is fair? Life respects results. The clock is ticking. You don't have time to play victim. You don't have time to be lazy. You don't have time to sit around blaming your parents, your past, your pain. You've got breath in your lungs. That's your permission. You've got today. That's your shot. But you keep wasting it. Every time you say, I'll start tomorrow. Every time you say, I'm too tired. Every time you say, I'm not ready. You're not tired. You're uncommitted. You're not confused. You're scared. You're not stuck. You're soft. But you weren't built to be soft. You were built to sit down. You weren't born to exist. You were born to build. So I need you to hear this with everything in you. Excuses don't build empires. Excuses build comfort. Excuses build regret. Excuses build failure. But not greatness. Not empires. Not legacies. If you want to build something that lasts, something they remember your name for, you've got to kill your excuses. You've got to bury your laziness. You've got to shut up and show up. You've got to get louder in your actions than in your words. This is your wake-up call, not a whisper, not a suggestion, a call to arms. Get up, stand up, lock in, and decide once and for all, are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to build your empire? Because they don't coexist. You don't get to build and make excuses at the same time. You don't get to cry about the work and expect the crown. You don't get to act soft and expect to sit on a throne. So what's it going to be? Comfort or the crown? Excuses or empire? Your choice, your moment, your move. Let me tell you the most dangerous lie you'll ever hear. And it's not coming from your enemy. It's not coming from the people who doubt you. It's coming from you. That voice inside your head. That one that says, it's okay to take today off. That one that says, you're too tired. That one that says, you'll never be good enough. That voice is lying to you. And the problem is, you've believed it for so long, it's become your reality. Excuses sound smart when you're scared. Excuses sound reasonable when you're tired. Excuses sound logical when your mindset is weak. But hear me, excuses are lies, wrapped in comfort, delivered by fear. You said you didn't have time. Lie. You had time. You just didn't want it bad enough. You made time for your phone. You made time for your friends. You made time for Netflix, YouTube, scrolling through people who are doing what you're only talking about. You said you're not ready. Lie. Nobody ever feels ready. You think people wake up feeling prepared for greatness? No, they wake up and choose greatness anyway. You said you don't have the support? Lie. You don't need support. You need commitment. Nobody believed in David until he slayed Goliath. Nobody believed in the vision until Noah built the ark. They're not supposed to support your empire. You are. You've been feeding yourself lies so long you started calling them facts. But facts don't matter when you've got the will. Facts don't matter when you've got fire in your soul. You say, I failed too many times. Good. That means you've got experience. You say, I'm too old. Good. That means you've got wisdom. You say, I'm too young. Good. That means you've got time to become a savage early. You say, no one believes in me. Good. That means it's time to believe in yourself. You gotta stop renting your potential to excuses. Every excuse you believe is a brick you remove from your empire. You're trying to build a kingdom with a wrecking ball in your hand. Listen to me. The excuses you're allowing right now are building the prison you'll be trapped in tomorrow. You're either building your future or building your failure. And the only difference is the story you keep telling yourself. Excuses are sneaky. They dress up as logic. They pretend to protect you. But what they really do is rob you. They rob you of momentum. They rob you of identity. They rob you of every ounce of greatness God put inside of you. You weren't created to live in a box. You weren't born to live with regrets. You weren't built to survive. You were born to conquer. But you can't conquer what you keep excusing. You've got to go to war with your own mind. That's the real battlefield. The empire you want won't be built with your hands. It's built with your mindset. You have to train your brain to call out lies. I'm tired. No, I'm undisciplined. I can't. No, I won't. I'll try. No, I'll do it or die trying. You don't need a miracle. You need truth. And here it is. If you're still breathing, if you woke up this morning, if there's even a flicker of fight left in you, then you've got enough to start. Start where you are. Start with what you've got. Start with all your flaws, all your fears, all your failures, and build anyway. Because the enemy isn't outside. It's not the economy. It's not your parents. It's not your boss. It's you. It's the story you've bought into. It's the identity you keep recycling. It's the fear you keep feeding. But here's what you gotta understand. Every time you reject an excuse, you reclaim power. Every time you say no more, you stack a brick in your empire. Every time you take action when you don't feel like it, you become one step closer to becoming unstoppable. So the next time that voice shows up, the one that says you can't, the one that whispers you're not enough, you stand up, you clap back, you say, shut up. You don't get to talk to me like that anymore. I've got an empire to build, and you're not invited. Because empires don't get built by the excuse makers. They get built by the truth tellers, the ones who stop lying to themselves, the ones who own their flaws, the ones who say, I don't care what it looks like right now. I'm still showing up. I'm still building. And I refuse to die with potential still in me. What separates the common from the chosen? What separates talkers from builders? What separates excuses from execution? Let's make it plain. Average people make excuses. Empire builders make moves. That's the line in the sand. That's the division. And every day, every decision, you're standing on one side or the other. You either build your life or let life build you into a prisoner of regret. You either wake up hungry or you wake up hoping somebody hands you the throne. You either execute or you explain why you didn't. Average says, I'm doing my best. Empire says, best isn't enough. I'm doing what's necessary. Average says, I'm waiting for the right time. Empire says, I'm building through the storm. Average says, I need motivation. Empire says, I've got discipline. You see the difference? One is ruled by feelings. The other is ruled by fire. The average life is built around comfort. The empire life is built around sacrifice. The average person waits for Friday. The empire builder grinds through Sunday. The average person scrolls through their idols. The empire builder becomes one. Let me be real with you. It's not about talent. It's not about who's smarter, richer, or more gifted. It's about mindset. The empire builder doesn't need applause. They don't need likes. They don't need validation. They're too busy stacking bricks, one painful step at a time. They understand this. Discipline is more important than desire. Consistency is louder than talent. Execution beats everything. You keep waiting for the big break. They're out there breaking things down and rebuilding with their bare hands. That's the difference. Average says, I'll do it when I feel like it. But empire builders, they do it especially when they don't feel like it. Because they know pain is part of the process. They know late nights, early mornings, silent seasons. That's the cost of the crown. They don't make excuses. They make a way. Let me ask you something. Are you busy or are you building? Are you moving in circles or are you moving the needle? Because average people work hard to look busy. Empire builders work hard to create results. They don't talk about the dream. They live it. They bleed for it. They sacrifice for it. You want to know the difference between average and empire? Average crumbles under pressure. Empire is forged by pressure. Average avoids the fire. Empire builders walk through it. Average waits to be chosen. Empire builders choose themselves. This life is not for the weak. You want to build something that lasts? You want to be remembered? Then you've got to go where the average won't. Do what the average refuses to do, and suffer in silence while the world sleeps on you. Because when the empire rises, they'll all see it, but only you will know the price. Let me make it even more raw. Average is addicted to comfort. Empire is addicted to growth. Average runs when it gets hard. Empire runs harder. Average people pray for a way out. Empire people dig their way through. So ask yourself, are you putting in hours or are you putting in impact? Are you chasing clout or chasing the crown? Are you building habits or building a legacy? Look, you weren't born to fit in. You weren't designed for average. You felt it, haven't you? That fire, that restlessness, that ache to do more, be more. You know what that is? That's your empire calling, and it's tired of waiting on your excuses. So from this moment on, you choose. Do you want average or do you want empire? Because you can't have both. Builders don't whine, they work. Winners don't complain, they commit. And empire building requires complete silence from your excuses. Let me say it as clear as I can. You can't build and complain at the same time. You gotta pick one. You can't say, I want the crown, and at the same time cry about how heavy it is. You can't say, I'm chasing legacy, and then whine about how long the journey feels. You either carry the weight or complain about it. You don't get to do both. The reason most people never build their empire? It's not because they're not smart. It's not because they're not talented. It's because they spend more energy complaining than they do creating. They complain about the time it takes, the effort it requires, the sacrifices it demands. But you don't get to complain about the work and expect the reward. You don't get to pout about the grind and get praised like a king. Builders build. Babies cry. You gotta choose who you are. Are you gonna be the victim of your story? Or are you gonna be the architect? Let me get it to you straight. The throne only fits those who are willing to carry bricks without a word. Because real builders, they don't need to announce what they're doing. They're too busy doing it. You see, complaining is a thief. It robs your focus. It robs your energy. It robs your discipline. You can't say, I'm locked in, while wasting energy talking about how unfair life is. Life was never promised to be fair. It was promised to be earned. And only the builders collect. Listen, you're not going to win by talking about what's wrong. You're not going to level up by blaming the weather, the people, the pressure, the pain. You know what empire builders do? They don't say, it's hard. They say, it's necessary. They don't say, I'm tired. They say, let's go again. They don't complain about the mud. They use it to make bricks. You can't be high maintenance and high performance. You can't be sensitive to pressure and still expect to be great. Let me tell you something real. You're not supposed to feel good all the time. You're not supposed to love every moment. You're not supposed to enjoy every rep, every mile, every early morning. But you do it anyway. Because that's what builders do. They show up when others shut down. They grind when others grumble. They execute in silence while the world is busy explaining. Look, the people who make it to the top, they didn't whine their way up there. They didn't say, it's taking too long. They said, however long it takes, I'm in. They didn't say, it's too hard. They said, this pain is building something priceless. They didn't say, nobody sees me. They said, good, let me cook in the dark. You've got to shift your language. Stop saying, I have to wake up early. Say, I get to chase greatness before the world wakes up. Stop saying, I'm struggling right now. Say, I'm getting stronger right now. Stop saying, why me? Say, try me. Because every time you complain, you shrink your vision. And every time you speak life, you expand your empire. You've got to decide, do you want sympathy or do you want success? Do you want someone to feel sorry for you? Or do you want someone to look up and say, damn, that one built something? Let this hit your spirit. Builders don't need comfort. Builders need a mission. Builders don't need approval. Builders need alignment. Builders don't cry about the pressure. They become diamonds through it. So the next time that urge rises to complain, to blame somebody, to explain why you're not where you want to be, shut it down. Turn the volume down on your mouth and turn the volume up on your grind. Because the loudest person in the room ain't the one building. The one building, they're too busy sweating in silence. You want your empire? Then build it. Stack the bricks, push through the pain, and don't say a word until it's finished. Everybody wants the crown, but very few want to pay the price. There's no shortcut. There's no discount. Greatness costs everything, and the throne demands a sacrifice. Everybody wants the throne, but nobody wants the pain that comes with it. Everybody wants the crown, but they don't want the blood. They don't want the sweat. They don't want the lonely nights, the silent seasons, the endless grind. But hear me today. The throne is not given. It's earned. And the price? The price is everything. You don't get the crown because you showed up. You don't get the crown because you posted motivation. You get the crown because you refused to quit when it hurt. You paid in time. You paid in tears. You paid in sacrifice. You want to be the king? Then prepare to bleed like one. No sleep, no shortcuts, no excuses. The throne costs your comfort, it costs your ego, it costs your old identity. Because the version of you that wants the crown can't be the same version that wears it. You've got to become something greater. This ain't about hustle for show. This is about transformation. You want power, you want respect, then step into the fire and stay there. Every empire you admire was built on pain. Every champion you quote was born in sacrifice. Every king you look up to, he paid the price in silence before he ever sat on the throne. They don't see the dark days. They don't see the doubts. They don't see the days when quitting whispered your name so loud it almost became your identity. But you kept going, and that's why the throne has your name on it. Let me be real with you. The throne costs your weekends, your distractions, your comfort zone, your pride, your plan B, and sometimes even your friends. Because not everyone can go where you're headed. Not everyone is willing to pay the price. Not everyone is willing to suffer in silence while building in faith. But you, if you're hearing this, you're not everyone. You're one of the few. You're one of the rare. You're not chasing popularity. You're chasing the throne. But let me warn you, the throne is lonely. It's cold at the top. Not because people hate you, but because most of them quit climbing. They saw the price tag and they walked away. But you said, charge me full price. You said, I don't need comfort. I need legacy. You said, I'll suffer now so my kids don't have to. I'll grind now so my name lives forever. You didn't ask for a discount. You didn't ask for a shortcut. You asked for the weight, and you carried it. And that's why the throne belongs to you. Not because you're better, but because you were willing. You were willing to be misunderstood, willing to be alone, willing to be broke, willing to be tired, willing to be mocked, laughed at, doubted, and still show up. Because empires are not built by emotions. They're built by warriors. You've got to fight every day like your future depends on it, because it does. You've got to move like you're running out of time, because you are. You've got to show up like the throne is waiting, because it is. So ask yourself, do you want it bad enough to train while others sleep, study while others party, work while others whine, build while others blame? Are you willing to lose now to win later? Because that's the price. The throne is paid for in seasons of sacrifice no one will ever see. No spotlight, no applause. Just you, your grind, and the vision. You won't always feel strong. You won't always feel confident. You won't always feel like you're making progress. But the throne ain't reserved for those who feel. It's reserved for those who finish. Let me leave you with this. The price of the throne is high. The road is steep. The journey is brutal. But the view is worth every scar. Because when the world looks up and sees what you built, they won't see the struggle. They'll see the strength. They'll see the throne. And they'll know you paid in full. Greatness isn't made on stages. It's made in silence, in struggle, in isolation. The most powerful empires are built long before anyone claps for you. Everybody wants to shine, but nobody wants to grind in the dark. Everybody wants to be seen, but nobody wants to suffer when nobody's watching. Let me tell you something real. If you can't handle being built in the dark, you'll never survive in the light. Because the spotlight will expose what the shadows built. And if you ain't done the work in private, don't expect success in public. Listen to me. Your future isn't created on the stage. It's created in silence, in the early mornings, in the late nights, in the gym when no one's clapping, in the studio when nobody's watching, in the study when the world's asleep. That's where the real ones are made. The lights don't make you. The followers don't crown you. The applause doesn't define you. You are forged in the quiet. You are chiseled in the shadows. You are built in the dark. And that's why most people don't make it. Because they crave attention more than transformation. They want validation before preparation. They want followers before foundation. But you were born for more. You were built different. You don't need eyes on you. Because you've got the vision inside you. Greatness isn't sexy when it's raw. Greatness is ugly. It's bloody. It's cold. It's lonely. But that's the price. The gym when your body says no. The books when your mind is tired. The grind when your heart is broken. That's the real test. Not who you are when people see you, but who you are when nobody does. Let me ask you something. Can you show up every day with no claps? Can you give 100% with zero praise? Can you keep grinding even when nobody says your name? Because that's what empire builders do. They work like they're already on the throne while the world still sees a servant. They train like the spotlight's on when it's just them and God in the dark. Let me give it to you raw. Built in the dark means sacrificing without recognition. Built in the dark means bleeding without sympathy. Built in the dark means building without proof that it's working. But you build anyway, because faith isn't about what you can see. It's about what you believe. Most people quit not because they're weak, but because they need someone clapping to keep going. You want to be elite? You better clap for your damn self. You better push yourself like the world's watching, even when it's not. That's the difference. The average needs an audience. The greats need a mission. The average wants comfort. The greats want character. The average waits to be seen. The greats, they build in silence until they're impossible to ignore. Let me remind you, David was built in the field. Kobe was built in the gym at 4 a.m. Legends were made when the cameras were off. Don't envy the shine. if you're not willing to embrace the shadows. So stop complaining that nobody sees you. Stop crying about who didn't support you. Stop begging for validation. Because the throne don't go to the loud. It goes to the silent savage who was grinding when the world was sleeping. You're not behind. You're being built. You're not forgotten. You're being forged. This is not punishment. This is preparation. One day, the lights will come on. The world will look up. They'll say, "Where did he come from? Where did she come from?" And they'll have no idea how long you bled in the dark. No idea how many nights you almost quit. No idea how many silent battles you won just to still be standing. But that's okay, because empire builders don't need to be seen. They need to be ready. So keep building, keep showing up, keep grinding when it ain't sexy, keep hustling when it ain't trending, keep sacrificing when nobody claps. Because everything they'll celebrate one day, you're building right now. Built in silence, built in pain, built in darkness, built for glory. You don't reach the top by being interested. You don't build an empire by being curious. You become unstoppable when the vision becomes an obsession, when the outcome becomes your oxygen. Let me ask you something. Are you interested in success, or are you obsessed with the outcome? Because the people at the top, the ones building legacies, they didn't make it because they were kind of motivated. They made it because the vision consumed them. They didn't want it once a week. They wanted it every second, every breath, every heartbeat. See, obsession is different from motivation. Motivation fades. Obsession fuels. Motivation gets you started. Obsession makes you unstoppable. Obsession is when it's no longer a goal, it's your identity. You don't try to build an empire, you live it. You breathe it. You dream about it. You wake up with it on your mind. You go to sleep with it in your heart. It's not just something you do, it's who you are. The reason most people never make it, they're committed until it gets hard. They're focused until it gets boring. They're dedicated until it demands sacrifice. But when you're obsessed, there's no plan B. There's no backup option. There's just this is who I am now, period. You think champions sleep in? You think empire builders take days off from purpose? Nah, because when you're obsessed with the outcome, you don't need permission to work. You don't need motivation to show up. You don't need someone to tell you to hustle. You just do it because it's who you've become. Let me tell you something powerful. When the outcome becomes your oxygen, you'll stop making excuses. When the outcome becomes your obsession, you'll stop letting distractions win. When the outcome becomes non-negotiable, you'll start walking, talking, eating, training, working like it already belongs to you. And here's the secret: the world steps aside for the man who knows where he's going. The world respects the one who moves like it's already his. You want to build something powerful? Then move like there's no other option. You think obsession is unhealthy? I'll tell you what's unhealthy. Settling, wasting time, being average when greatness is calling your name. Obsession with the right thing, that's how legacies are built. Let me hit you with this truth. Kobe was obsessed. MJ was obsessed. Tom Brady, Serena, Elon, Oprah, all obsessed. They were curious. They were possessed by their purpose. And they didn't apologize for it. You shouldn't either. People will say, "You're doing too much. You need to chill. You need balance." Nah, you don't need balance. You need fire. You need something that wakes you up early and keeps you grinding late. Something that pulls you even when you're tired. Something that makes the pain feel worth it. That's obsession. When you're obsessed with the outcome, pin, you sacrifice now to celebrate later. Pin, you stay locked in while the world is distracted. Pin, you stay loyal to the mission even when the results aren't instant. Why? Because you're not looking for comfort. You're looking for the crown. This ain't about working hard once in a while. This is about being married to the outcome, committed on your worst day, focused when everything feels slow, relentless when the grind feels like it's never ending. You don't quit because it hurts. You keep going because it matters. When the vision owns you, you don't need hype. You've already decided. It's already yours. Now it's just about becoming the person worthy of it. And that's what obsession does. It doesn't let you rest until the mission is complete. So what do you do now? You kill off the distractions. You cut off the doubts. You drown out the noise, and you chase the outcome like your life depends on it, because it does. The ones who win, they're not lucky. They're not chosen. They're not better. They're just more obsessed with the outcome. And that obsession, that's the real superpower. You're not here to be interested. You're here to be undeniable. This is the moment. No turning back. No waiting. No blaming. Either you rise and build, or you stay where you are and lose it all. The empire will not build itself. It's on you. This is it. No more time to waste. No more room to doubt. No more hiding behind excuses. You've heard it all. You felt it deep in your soul. You've been fired up, part after part. Now it's time to make a decision. Will you build the empire or bury the dream? Because at the end of the day, it's on you. You can't keep watching others rise while you sit in silence. You can't keep saying one day when today is begging you to move. You can't keep hoping to win with the same weak habits that keep you stuck. You want the crown? Then go earn it. No more blaming. No more waiting for motivation. No more telling stories about why you're not where you want to be. Empires don't respond to words. They respond to work. And if you're serious, I mean really serious, then you gotta kill the excuses once and for all. Because excuses, they don't protect you. They poison you. They don't keep you safe. They keep you small. Every excuse is a brick pulled out of the foundation of your empire. And the more excuses you make, the weaker your kingdom becomes. But when you cut the excuses, you take your power back. You've got the vision. You've got the hunger. You've got the fire in you. So what's the delay? What's left to question? Either you go get it, or you keep watching someone else live the life that should have been yours. You've come too far now to turn soft. You've heard the truth. You've felt the challenge. Now is the time to transform information into execution. Now is the time to build. Let the world doubt you. Let the pain test you. Let the pressure hit you. But don't you ever let excuses win. Because when it's all said and done, no one's going to remember what held you back. They're only going to remember what you built. And if you don't build it, someone else will. Someone else will build the brand. Someone else will chase the dream. Someone else will change the world because you were too busy explaining why you couldn't. So here's your moment, the moment you draw the line, the moment you silence the excuses, the moment you step into the empire mindset. It won't be easy. It's not supposed to be. Empires are built with blood, sweat, discipline, and sacrifice. But you've already got everything it takes. You've got the fire. You've got the story. You've got the scars. You've got the heart. Now go finish what you started. No more excuses, no more apologies, no more breaks, no more fear. It's time to build the empire. Your name, your legacy, your vision, brick by brick, hour by hour, rep by rep. This isn't a speech anymore. This is a command. Build the empire or stay forgotten.